sometimes sold rice, sometimes worked as a laborer, escaped from a 4-story house of farming, got nothing except washing utensils. Despite everything, he built his own car. This was the beginning of a manufacturer. Price and quality were so low at that time. People mocked him, saying he wouldn't succeed, yet he didn't let the mockery affect his determination. Even after falling to the ground, he rose again. Persistence became his habit, and this habit made him so strong. Eventually, this boy created a sturdy world. Welcome once again to Hyundai's, the third largest car manufacturing company. Nazarene Chungju Young was born in 1915 in Korea's village named Tongcheon. This village is now located in North Korea. At that time, Korea was ruled by Japan. Chung was the eldest of 7 siblings, and due to family conditions, the entire family had to work. At just 14 years of age, Chung had to leave school because of these circumstances and work in the fields. He started working with his parents. He worked in the fields all day, but the money he earned from working wasn't enough. Despite working, there were many days when they had to sleep hungry. This situation forced him to think about whether his entire life would be spent in such a state. He was tired of living this way. Ultimately, he ran away from home with just 100 rupees. He went to a faraway city to try his luck there. He started working as a construction laborer. Although he worked very hard, the money, he earned little. But in this situation, he was still very happy, because firstly, he was earning his own money. Secondly, he spent his money independently. And thirdly, he felt free now. But this freedom only lasted for a month, as his parents, who were searching for him, eventually found him and brought him back to the village. In the village, his life returned to what it was before. The first thing they did was take away his happiness by sending him to work in the fields again. But this time, he had already tasted the joys of city life. He had realized that no one in the city judged him by his appearance. He did not want to live a life in the village or in the fields. After that, he tried to escape twice again, but he was caught both times and brought back. For several days, there was nothing to eat, and hunger tormented everyone. He thought he had endured enough and that no one would notice if he left now. This time, he decided to leave his home for good. He planned his escape carefully, and this time, his final attempt was a solitary one, as he fled alone. He reached Seoul, which is now the capital of South Korea, and it felt like he had found a new purpose in life. He had made up his mind to leave the village and settle in the city, even if he had to do any kind of work. After coming to Seoul, he couldn't find work for a while. He started working as a laborer in construction, then as a factory worker, and even as a cleaner in the same factory. And because of his hard work and dedication, he was soon promoted from cleaner to a higher position. Eventually, he got a job in retail, which involved interacting with people. He started delivering goods to homes by bicycle, and as a result, the store's sales increased significantly. The owner of the store was so happy with him that he made him the manager of the store. This was his first job where he didn't have to do hard labor or farming. Seeing his dedication and hard work, he further increased the store's sales and reputation. Meanwhile, the store owner fell ill and could no longer run the store. As a result, he sold the store to Yang, the protagonist, at a reasonable price. The boy who was once sent to the fields to work 4 times, the boy who had run away from home, was now just 22 years old when he became the owner of his own store. He worked very hard in his shop, and within a few years, his rice store was recognized as the best in the area. He was very happy with this success, but during this time, a tragedy struck, and his small happiness turned into sorrow. On July 7, 1937, a Japanese soldier kidnapped Mako's little grandson and took him somewhere far away. Yang and his family sought permission from the Japanese soldiers to search for him in China. But when China refused to grant them permission, a conflict broke out between the two nations, which came to be known in history as the Second Sino-Japanese War. This war is said to have started over a small issue, but it lasted for several years, and as a result, Japan and Korea faced severe shortages of rice and other resources. Even Korea, which was under Japanese imperial rule at the time, was deeply affected because the Japanese military seized control of the entire rice supply of. Now, he began looking for work again. But since he couldn't oppose the Japanese army's policies, he came up with several innovative ideas and decided to focus on rebuilding his life. Finally, he prepared himself to open a new business, intending to resolve his struggles and start afresh with whatever little he had. He had no money, so he took a loan of 3,000 won. He started a new business under the name Ado Services. However, as soon as he started, things didn't go as planned. Everything went wrong. Misfortune struck before the business could even take off. A sudden fire broke out in his garage, burning down all the vehicles and even his small office. Yang took full responsibility for all the losses, but this time, he didn't give up. He repaid the 3,001 loan and the damages caused by the fire through hard work and sheer determination. Once again, he took a loan of 3,500 won. He reopened the garage and slowly managed to recover all the losses over time. He then focused on growing his business further. In the next 2 years, Yang successfully expanded. At that time, World War II was ongoing, and Japan was also a participant in this war. Japan needed factories to produce war supplies, and therefore the Pan's government started taking over factories under its control. Eventually, the Pan's also took over Yang's factory. However, this time, Yang did not receive any compensation, as he did the previous time. He endured the losses and gathered all his savings, managing to save up to 50,000 won so that he could start a new business again. Shortly after, World War II ended. Along with this, Japan lost control over Korea. The Hoku was also the largest trade route. The division was halted, and Korea was now split into 2 parts. A partition had been decided. Korea would split. The situation in South Korea normalized in 1946. Yang moved to Seoul City and started again. Yang started a car repair business. He gave it a new identity and kept the business alive with new hope. He named his company Hyundai Auto Service. This Hyundai means modern in Korean. Modern-day Seoul is now part of South Korea. It was under the influence of America. American forces were often present in South Korea. Yang observed that the American forces needed residences, and the American army required buildings to be constructed. He thought that starting a construction business could be highly profitable. Thus, in 1947, Yang established Hyundai Civil Works. He named it a construction company. He received work for constructing houses or building roads, which anyone could do. For a new business, this was sufficient, but Yang wanted to secure bigger projects. However, the circumstances once again disrupted his plans. On June 25, 1950, with the support of the Soviet Union, North Korea attacked South Korea. Seoul City, located near the border of North Korea, felt the danger, and once again, Seoul was evacuated. This caused significant losses, but even this time, Yang did not lose courage. He took advantage of the situation. He analyzed and figured out how to profit even in tough conditions. He started thinking of ways to earn money and saw that the U.S. Army was helping South Korea, and for the Army's residents, they needed tent warehouses and some buildings. This necessity came from nowhere, and Yang started a construction business and targeted American officials, offering them offices and services as needed. He believed that if he could serve the construction needs of America, it could prove to be highly profitable because of their superior. The U.S. had power and budget, which was never an issue for them. American officials started giving orders to Yang and his company. Day and night, Yang and his team worked tirelessly to complete every project. This hard work paid off. The war eventually ended. Although the war ended, the relationship between America and Yang had turned into a strong working relationship. because Yang was reliable, and so even the South Korean government trusted him. After the war, many roads and bridges were destroyed, so the South Korean government entrusted their reconstruction to him. The projects for their reconstruction were awarded to Yang's company, Hyundai. Having progressed so much, the company also took on mega projects like constructing the largest dam in South Korea, the Soyang Dam, which was built by this very company. This became the company's biggest achievement because Yang's relationship with South Korea was strong, and his work was also appreciated. This is why Hyundai became a preferred company for construction and soon dominated the construction industry. He could easily import machinery from the US due to his good relationships. He always received construction contracts before anyone else. Yang wanted to revisit his old car repair business. This time, he wanted to expand it and do something bigger. In 1967, he thought of starting Hyundai Motors. The company started with great effort, and the company partnered with Ford. At that time, Ford was a famous name in the car market, which helped Hyundai. Yang admitted that he would use Ford's technology to assemble Kona cars. However, the car market in South Korea was quite small. According to one estimate, it was only 30,000. The car market grew, but the chances were limited. Therefore, Yang started looking for new partners, and soon he found one. The company created a car, but as mentioned earlier, at that time, South Korea's car market was still small. The market was very small there, so there wasn't much chance for growth. The US rejected this car, but Yang didn't give up and worked hard on the car. With improvements and better standards, he finally launched it in the US market as well. The profit had now become easy to achieve, because their business had now expanded beyond South Korea. However, the US market initially failed because the car was very cheap, which made people ridicule it. Even after a major flop, Honda did not give up. He started working hard again and, along with his partners and engines, began introducing new models. These new models, along with better craftsmanship, helped them create a reputation. This time, they made a name for themselves. The cars were affordable, and that's why customers were happy and kept coming back. Soon, the company became one of the largest in the world. This marked the beginning of a successful journey for Yang, proving that determination leads to success. It had become the owner of a multinational company. Due to old age, his health was now not as it used to be. Hence, he decided to retire. He handed over the company to his sons in 2001. Chung had passed away, leaving behind his legacy. The company became the world's third largest car manufacturer. The company is small, but its reach is extensive. See you in the next amazing video. Thanks for watching.